Hi everyone, so this is actually just like my first, what's it called, voiceover if you like. Please don't judge me because I feel really awkward right now, but it's just going to be my first one, so just explaining what I'd usually do. So I just threw some dry shampoo in, which I'd always do no matter what, whether it's fresh hair, second day, third day hair. I just give that a brush through. I think it just thickens up the root, and I've always done it. So now I'm just sectioning off my front pieces. I always think with a top knot that the front pieces always look so much better. Frames the face. I mean, it does look nice without them, but personally on myself, I like having them down. I think it's sort of because of my colour. I think because my bun or at the end, which you'll see, always looks quite blonde. It sort of breaks everything up a bit. So I'm literally just tying that away. And then if you've seen my pony video, which I posted the other day, this is literally the exact same front section. So you're taking it up from ear to ear, straight up directly. This is just going to be able to build the volume rather than trying to pull it all out if you just scrape it all back. So at this point you can actually like customise how much volume that you'd want. Once again, just tying that away. I just do my own hairstyles on myself really messy, as you can see. Like the sections aren't anything neat. Like I have a bit of hair coming out. Like I just like my own hairstyles really messy, not really formal and neat. Obviously you can make these as neat as you like, but personally I just don't like that on myself. Just make sure you don't get any of your front pieces caught up, because that will cause you problems later on. Just tying that up in a bobble. Any bobble works, anything that's just going to be really tight. I do have 2 rows of extensions in, so if I can only get my bobble round twice, it starts to sag at the back, which when you're having a top knot, you can get away with it if you're wearing a pony, but if you're having a top knot, then you need to basically have that as tight as possible. So you'll see in a minute, I do actually double bobble, but I just bobble that up as normal. So with this middle section, I'm going to call it, I'm going to basically section these into 3, so middle, 2 at the one either side basically, so 2 sides. And then I'm just going to comb it through. Just always comb your hair through, it just avoids any problems later on. I'm just going to section off the front bit. So the reason I section off is because so think of it as 2 sections. So the back section is your volume, your front section is your smoothness. So you can choose either whether you want it smooth, messy, a little bit of messy. I like mine personally a little bit messy. So I'm adding a tiny little bit of volume here. As you can see, I'm just dead messy, just literally throw it all back. So this bit I'm going to smooth over, but I've basically kept this section quite thin, so you'll be able to see the messiness through it, because I like mine messy. Just literally repeating the same thing. I'd say the sections are more 70% back, 30% forward, so the bulk section of the back comb can be bigger than the front section. So just literally back comb that up and put it back, and then this front bit comb through. I always get quite curly at the roots because my natural hair, because I'm growing my hair out, it's naturally quite curly at the root. So I literally just smooth over it out quick. You don't need to be really harsh or anything with your straighteners, just literally glide over them. And then I'm just as you can see there, my hair is like quite curly at the roots and greasy, so hence the second day hair. Actually no, this is third day hair. Again, back comb. I tend to pull my sections where they're actually going to sit, rather than just back combing it down and pulling it up. So that's why you can see that I'm basically pulling it upwards and straightening it backwards, because that's eventually where it's going to sit. So just grab all them sections and then sort of ruffle over them with your fingers, settle into place of what the height where you're happy, the messiness where you're happy, and then I literally just put one pin right near the bobble, as you can see. And then I'm just going to take a really thin bobble and just bobble round it. I don't even do this like properly, I just literally lash it around really quickly. So now I just give a quick spray over the whole hair just to tame any flyaways, because I literally do this really easy. As you can see there, the pony's not brilliant, but so I literally just comb it all the way through, and then I'm hairspraying underneath because this is where the hair is going to sit. So now I'm just going to back comb right the way down the hair, as you can see, right the way from the root of the bobble to the ends of my hair. And then I sort of half twist it and pull it round, and then it literally just forms itself because of all that back comb. And then all you do is just pin as many pins as possible. The more pins there are, the more secure it is. Then I'm just going to take out my front sections. I don't have even bangs, curtains, whatever they're called. So I just literally just grab whatever pieces. I wanted them quite thick today because I did have like third day hair. I think if they're too thin and they're a little bit greasy, they just look a bit like thin and not volumized. So I took quite thick sections here. So I'm just going to back comb right at the root, smooth over it a tiny section because I've got all this regrowth since having the baby. And then I'm using straighteners because my hair at the moment, because I've been having braids the last couple of days, just to avoid any heat. My hair has got that natural frizzy look, so I thought with the straighteners it's going to smooth over the follicle as I'm curling it. And then I'm just repeating on the other side. Once again, baby hair is making an appearance, and I'm just repeating again. So you always want to curl away from your face with these hairstyles. I literally comb them out. I'm really rough with this because I don't want it to be like a really tight curl. I just want it to be like soft framing of the face. So literally, as you see, comb it through, fluff it out between your fingers, which I think is quite a big factor because it makes the hair look a lot thicker. And then just faff. You'll know if you've ever been to an appointment with me, I just faff for about 15 minutes at the end because I think every hair needs to be in a place. I need to have no pins on show. Everything has a place. So then I'm just pulling up to the height that I like. And then that's it. This literally took me no longer than 8 minutes. Thank you.